The time is 6:30 and we'll call the regular board meeting to order and have roll call, please.
Dyke.
Present.
Walker.
Here.
Frisbee.
Present.
Maycumber.
Here.
Wintering.
Here.
All present and accounted for. Agenda item 1 is to approve the agenda. Are there any additions or corrections?
No.
We have the 2 appointments.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Tanisha Shaw and Jody Ozier in the Learning Connections.
Okay. Is there a motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the revision. I'll second that.
it's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as revised. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Walker.
Yes.
Frisbee.
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Wintering.
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 2, welcome the visitors and have public comment. As we begin our agenda tonight, I'll explain our process for public comment. The board will hear comments from the public in conjunction with each agenda item using a structured process. As board president, I will ask for comments when we reach that item on the agenda. You will be asked to approach the microphone, state your name, and limit your comments to 2 minutes. At this time, I invite any member of the audience to step up to the microphone with comments about items of interest or concern that do not appear on tonight's agenda. Please begin by stating your name and contact information. It would be appreciated if you would limit your comments to 2 minutes so that we can keep the meeting moving in a timely fashion and allow others an opportunity to speak, as well as allowing the board to complete the full board agenda in a timely manner. Comments from the public are limited to matters within the board's authority. Please understand that we as a board cannot discuss items not already on the agenda. Iowa Sunshine Law prohibits us from having a discussion without the proper notice to all of the school district community that the issue would be discussed at tonight's board meeting. Also, please remember you are making comments in a public meeting. Should you make comments that the subject of the comments considers to be inflammatory or libelous, you as an individual may be subject to legal action brought by the subject of your comments. We thank you for your support of our school district. Are there any comments from the public this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 3. Comments by board members and superintendent, and we'll begin with Dr. Cox.
Thank you. Board Policy Committee met last Friday to begin work on the life-threatening allergy policy, and we are using Waukee as our model, and we are going to meet again on Thursday about that. Parent-teacher conferences were held today at all 4 of our buildings. They started at 11 a.m. They go until 7 o'clock, so just another 25 minutes or so. And we will give you an update at the next board meeting as to how that went. Another homecoming is in the books. We had a packed gym on Friday night, about 1,300 students from 3rd grade up to seniors, and then including teachers. Really nice event. Also want to say congratulations to King Bryce Foxen and Queen Brooklyn Opp. And lastly, the German-American Partnership Program students are here from Germany. Unfortunately, they're in South Dakota this week, and they leave the weekend right before our next board meeting, so they won't get to come to a board meeting to do a presentation this year. We'll have to wait for another one next year.
Thank you. Board members have any comments?
Jason and I just happened to be up at the high school when the German students arrived, so we were able to speak to them on behalf of the board and welcome them. Attempted to explain what we were, who we were. And nice group, excited, very tired looking, but this was their first day they were here. Also thanks to Jerry Mitchell for a great tour of the buildings. My new committee, being on buildings and grounds, I had him take you around, show us all the things that are going on. Wonderful improvements, nice changes. The buildings really are looking good, and lots of great plans for the future.
Thank you.
All I had was I attended the football game Friday night, and the bleachers were packed, so that was fantastic to see the crowd that turned out.
Yeah,
really packed. I had to
Really
sit with the band.
Well, that's okay.
That's all right, it was fun, yeah. And IASB needed a representative for the RTC, which is the Regional Telecommunications Council, and so I had offered to take that appointment on behalf of IASB for our input into like Iowa online learning, is what that's about.
Thank you. Jim, you have anything?
Not really. Well, Dr. Coxon and our educator from Argentina, or from, yeah, are going to speak at the Kiwanis tomorrow noon.
Oh,
This will be my second meeting as swore in took over last week as president.
Oh, congratulations.
very good.
So they're going to speak to us next week.
Cool.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that is. Okay.
We're really looking forward to it.
On behalf of the board and the district, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of the buildings and faculty, staff, and students. I think homecoming last week turned out really well and came off with little or no problems, and everyone did a great job. Was up to the high school Friday afternoon for the pep rally, and what a pep rally it was. Very excited about the way everyone's behaved and how things have gone this year. Also, on Saturday, I had the opportunity to go to Fort Dodge again and watch the state marching band competition. This year, I spent about 4 hours in the sun and forgot my hat and sunscreen lotion, but it was a very good day, and watched the Comet Band perform, and enjoyed 4 hours of marching band competition, so enjoyed that. And they got to Division II, but we're proud of them. They had performed 7 times in 30 hours.
Wow.
They performed 5 times on Friday for all of the pep rallies and events and the parade and then the football game. They did the wake up with the band Saturday morning and then off to state competition. So they had a busy 2 days as well.
They're sounding very good.
Yes.
Who won the,
Wake up with the band.
yeah, who won the
Do we
Wake
know?
Up with the Band? Do you know
Don't
who's-
remember that person's name.
I don't know.
Yeah, Judy Troji won Wake Up with the Band. Thank you, Jessica. So they had a busy 2 days.
Were you going to reference the pink as well?
Oh, I can. The board is wearing pink this evening in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month to lend our support for that cause. So, any other comments from the board? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 4, the joint facilities recommendation from FEH Design. And we have a couple of representatives from that company here with us this evening. The floor is yours.
Well, good evening. Thanks for giving us an opportunity to present the report tonight. I'm Don Seymour with FEH and Emily Hilgendorf. So what we thought we'd do is give you a quick overview of a few highlights in the report and then supplement it with some additional things with the survey so that you can have a chance to read it in your leisure and then make the recommendation.
So this whole process started in June when we met with the core committee, which was made up of members of all of the joint entities all put together. And what came out of that are these goals for success, which you can find on page 9 of the book that you've been given if you want to follow along. The first, find the best utilization of community resources in both private and public sectors. Number 2, facilitate partnerships that benefit the community. 3, improve the quality of life for the community. 4, conduct a fair and unbiased study of current conditions. 5, this process will be publicly driven. 6, sustainable solutions will be pursued. And 7, this study shall lead to implementation. So we're here today to kind of show how all of these have kind of come to fruition. And the timeline here that you can see on that next page kind of goes through a brief overview of what we've done up to this point. After that core committee meeting, we started meeting with the advisory task force, which was made up of influential and members of the community, and they all met together. There were 5 separate meetings altogether, and they were the ones that really came and brought these recommendations from the voice of the community.
Well, if you remember our workshop, we had to prepare a little bit ahead of time. So we did the space needs, and it's also included in your book, so that's all recorded for you. And then we also, I had identified a number of sites that had potential. And so for the workshop, we took all that information and we developed a number of different conceptual plans and best fit scenarios that combine the entities in a lot of different ways. And with the advisory councils or the advisory team's input through our presentations and then the feedback afterwards, it really got narrowed down to a handful of preferred ones. And so part of what we wanted to do was encapsulate all that into the book. So you have all of those schemes, all the space needs, and those recommendations, and that was presented earlier.
And all of that begins on page 17 and then goes all the way through. We've got all of the comment section, all of the sign-in sheets, so that you're able to see really what the community voice was saying about each one of the recommendations. And then after that, we also came up with cost opinions that are based on some of the most popular. Those breakdowns are also following all of the options, and you can see all of the different soft costs and hard costs that we came up with, as well as some operating costs that you can then compare against each other.
So where did that take us? Well, it took us to the point where, from the recommendations of the advisory team, we wanted to go out and do a survey. And so we conducted a survey, and we had 300, about 300?
Almost 300, yep.
And so Emily has some of the survey results, and we'll go through those, if you don't mind, here briefly, and some of the results of that.
Yeah, so starting on page 161, sorry, this is a very thick book, so I'll give you a second to flip to it. But these are all the survey results in total. We had 274 who responded. And this first question is mostly just kind of informational, discussing what we were talking about, the goals, and the general overview of this project. And so we had 88% of people who were aware of what was going on with the advisory task force. The second question, they're on that next page. They're talking about space deficiencies. So each one of the entities that we were studying are over to the left there. The county jail was one of the big ones, along with YMCA, and the city police were also in there. Number 3 also shows the community center. So it shows that almost 80% of the people polled were in favor of a community center in this area. So that definitely is a great thing to see from the community. Then asking about, did you participate in any of the public meetings or workshops? And this one is very telling for us because a good majority of the people did not. So this is a fresh batch of people who, this is their first look at some of the things that we're talking about here. And then also that next page, did you know anyone in the advisory task force? Again, 70%. So this is a group that we did not reach out to before this point, so they're actually getting to see what we've been talking about.
The nice thing about it is that it enhances and supplements what happened at the workshop with a lot of the same results, a lot of the same recommendations.
Yep. So then we get into the real meat and potatoes here on question 6. So this is all of the recommendations listed out, showing you each one, and then the ranking of support that people held for all of them. That first one is probably what you guys will be very interested in. The existing middle school building should be reused as an event center. Compatible uses should be considered in the facility, such as retail, recreation, and housing. Other uses, such as municipal, school district, and county space, should be considered. And that got about 77% of people agree with that. So that's a pretty strong, strong opinion from the community there, and very, very few, just 15%, maybe 16% there, disagree. So that is very, very telling. And then that next question there is just talking about the parking between Grand and Harwood Street in order to facilitate that community center. So again, that's strongly agreed upon as well, that should be used for the community center. And then as we continue onto the next page, We have things about the county jail, discussing if prisoners should be moved. The YMCA at the high school is the next one, looking at a joint partnership between those entities, and that would be, again, very well received, with 28% strongly agree and another 28% agree. The school district business community and NIAC leadership should continue to develop synergies that will provide necessary education and training, giving local area people and business tools to succeed. And that was actually the most voted on, or the most agreed upon question. So that one out of all of the joint entities. So that's definitely something to take a look at. Outdoor sports complex again, and then discussing the City Hall Police Station, Fire Station Annex, the TLC Community Child Center, and then the Cultural and Environmental Community Assets, Senior Center, and then just permeable brick pavers. So we really tried to do the hard-hitting questions first, and then kind of, as we went on, have the questions in order. So then, after that, you can see what people actually commented. So we give people options to comment, a certain amount of characters were allowed. And you can read through all of those at your time. There are definitely some to take a look at, ranging from scales of people who very, very strongly disagree to people who are definitely all for it. So definitely good reading on that. So what came out of that?
So the next steps is actually, I think you have it as part of your handout tonight. I got to catch up here a second. The next steps. These are the recommendations that are put forth to you guys as far as taking them under consideration and seeing how we go to the next level. And so with the report, you have a lot of good data and information to be able to see which of these next steps would be applicable. And then, you want to read through those, Emily?
Yeah, so the very first part of the next steps is kind of just summarizing what I went through, the community survey. This first section here, the school district and City of Charles City should partner to study the design and development of a community event center at the east portion of the existing middle school. This study should include the concept of selling the historic west portion of the school for the development of harmonious uses. A business plan and operating budget is a critical part of this evaluation. Once this plan is conceptualized, an RFP should be issued for development proposals for purchase, management, and/or ownership of all or portions of the facility. As this moves forward, the city should acquire adjacent properties as they become available. So that was kind of the first one that came about, and that's mostly due to the support that we've heard from the community through the advisory task force and also through the survey. Also looking a couple other of the joint facilities, the county and the city, and then Floyd County looking at courthouse space. The school district, business community, and NIAC leadership are already partnering on many of the projects. The next step should be to increase the level of participation from the business community as an advisory group to outline what is needed for ongoing training for the community workforce. So that's just taking that communication to the next level. And that's really what the community responded to as well in that survey.
Well, I think, as you can see from the book, there's a lot of good information here. And so hopefully it'll give you a good roadmap to take it to the next step. And I want to thank you guys for giving us an opportunity to present it tonight. So if you have any questions, we're all ears.
Any questions from board members or comments?
One comment I have is it looks that they've spent a lot of time looking at all the different angles of it, and it's going to take a little going through it before you can really make any decisions on it. But you guys did a wonderful job of putting it together, and
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Well, I hope we didn't go through it too fast tonight. But,
There is a lot of information.
we can elaborate on any other part that you would like.
I think that looking at the breakdown of the numbers that you give, that it's clear that the community has a very ambitious and progressive view of the future for a wide variety of things in town, and it'll be important to kind of wade through this a little more, especially with the other entities, and what will be feasible and what won't be feasible, and how we're going to make some of them feasible, I guess, so.
I think the key thing is that you not only have some potential ideas
Yeah.
and best fit scenarios, but you have some cost information that is
Yeah.
tied with it, so it
Yeah.
makes a more informed economical choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we did present to the county this morning,
Good.
and they were very receptive of their report as well.
Good.
I just had a question here in the summary. It says Floyd County should consider other offices to locate in the vacated courthouse space. So, are we proposing?
The top floor, the jail.
Yeah,
Oh, in the
fourth-
top
Yeah, the
floor.
fourth floor, yeah.
If the
Okay.
jail moves out,
Gotcha.
then the top floor is vacant
Okay.
and should be used for something.
That makes sense. And did I read, you're still putting together numbers on having a new jail versus transporting?
We actually presented those this morning.
Did you?
And it
Okay.
actually proved out that a new jail facility would be less expensive
Wow.
because of all the things that have to be incurred, including the city costs that would have to be added. And we actually looked at everything from bonding and health and everything all the way down to gas and vehicles. So we gave them a pretty thorough report, but it is just inflationary numbers we can't predict.
Sure.
So it is our best guess on those numbers, and we projected it out to 20 and 40 years to see what that impact would have, because that's something that once you start, it's not going to happen just for a year. So,
Well, I just wonder, as you go around and you talk to the county and you talk to us and you talk to the city and the Y and everyone, is there any way that you can provide a summary back to all of us, all of these groups about feedback or anything?
Absolutely.
Because we are not all seated at the table together, all of those groups, and really we all need to work together and understand where everyone is on this. Maybe, I don't know how we take steps from here, but that's what we need to figure out. And some of what you might be able to provide may be able to give us an understanding.
Absolutely. You'll be receiving this as an electronic document that you can share, whether
Okay.
it's on a website or through other media. And we can certainly provide a summary, but as you can see, the next steps do a pretty good synopsis, provide a pretty good synopsis of some of the next steps.
Yes.
But we can
yes.
provide a summary of everything.
Do you folks think that would be helpful? Yeah.
It'd be nice to hear what the other folks are saying and how they're receiving it.
At some point, we'll need to do that.
Yeah.
You meet on a regular basis with different
Correct.
people from those organizations, yes?
Yes,
Okay.
monthly.
We had that meeting this morning.
So
Oh, well,
they need to figure out how to get us all together,
yes.
probably.
I'm sure there will be another series of meetings scheduled to talk about the summary and how to implement next steps.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
Good. Good. Yeah, I'll be interested to read all the comments that came with the survey, too.
Yeah, I noted that those are in here. There are some interesting ones that'll be good to take the time to sit and read them.
This is
When-
disappointing,
When you see some of the
very disappointing.
pardon me? When you see some of the plans, there are pros and cons sheets, so we collected comments from folks the nights of the workshops. So you'll see all their comments too of what they liked and what they didn't like, and how we incorporated it later in the workshop.
Yeah, and every comment was incorporated, and I understand what you're referring to, and
The supplementary.
The information was given, and that was then presented because they were a member of the community that was voicing, and just like the comments, we do not filter. So the information is there for you for your benefit and reference.
The main thing to take home, I think, would be the results of the survey.
I agree.
And that's where we go from
Yes.
at this point.
Mhm.
Especially with as many people who took the survey that weren't in or attend the meetings,
Right.
Yep.
and they were all on the same page for the most part as all of us who did attend meetings and participated and have participated for quite a while.
Mhm.
So that's where we move forward from.
Yes.
If there's no other questions or comments, we do have a recommendation from the superintendent to accept the study results as presented. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the FEH report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the FEH design study results as presented. Any further comments or discussion? Any comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll have roll call vote, please.
Frisbee,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Wintering,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Thank you very much for all of your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you'll allow us, we'll take a few minutes and break down our
Yep, that's fine.
Sure.
The rest of it's ours.
Yeah.
Agenda item 5 would be Food Service Department update. Director Don Wolf is here to provide us with an update on changes made in the food service program. Welcome, Don.
Thank you. First off, our look of the menu has changed dramatically from the previous years. We have unlimited fruits and vegetables for all grade levels, which is, they're accepting real well. We've extended the salad bar from 3 days to 5 days a week, and the salad bar is at all schools except for IC and Washington. And Washington being preschoolers on a second grade is kind of hard for them to make decisions. The high school, we have added homemade pizza daily. And as of right now, we average about 27 pizzas a day, which is a little over 200 slices, which they've really enjoyed
I heard
that.
that's going quite well.
It has.
The pizza, yeah.
Yep, it has. And with the pizza option, that gives them 4 choices for their main course plus the à la carte. So hopefully, they're finding something that they like. Breakfast at Midland High School, they have 5 choices. And then elementary, they do have 2 choices now, whereas before elementary just had the 1. And one of those options is cereal every day. Some children like cereal no matter what else is offered, so at least they have something that they like. We also have a grab and go that we offer to students that come late, and they can add a fruit and a milk to that to take it to the room, no matter if they come 10 o'clock in the morning or when. They still have an option to come down and get a breakfast. The grab and go has like a cereal bowl with graham crackers and a juice box, and like I said, an additional fruit and milk that goes with it. The food service staff is now in uniform. I don't know if any of you been around to see that or not, but they have the gray polos with the Charles City emblem on it, and black shoes and pants. The high school is upgraded to black trays, which is a definite improvement from the pink and blue they had.
The retro, yeah.
We also went to black plastic silverware with a dispenser, which is more sanitary and more cost efficient because of the waste of the silverware that was thrown away. We have a la carte rack, and we'll have another one coming that will have one on either side of the milk cooler, so both lines can take off that if they want, instead of cutting through and going to a la carte just on one side. We have heat lamps, 2 new heat lamps that go over the pizzas to keep them fresh and hot. Baskets on the serving line to take their fresh fruit, as many as they want, as they go through of a choice. Salad bar containers and utensils are all upgraded to black also. We have, hopefully, I was told it will come in Wednesday, but an ice-cooled serving counter that will accommodate the fresh fruits and vegetables that will be under ice packs. And that'll be sneeze guards, plate rails, so they can go on either side and make it fast through the line. We've updated the stainless steel pans for the worn out ones that are bent and cracked and you name it. National School Hot Lunch is this week. KCHA usually comes around, interacts with the students, has lunch. Then other than that, you know, the upgrades of the equipment, I think are good. Hopefully as time goes on, we will upgrade as needed. I've been going to the schools 2 to 3 times a week, whether it be lunch, breakfast, or sometime in between, just to see how things are going. And hopefully, after this, from the time school starts till now, it's chaos with deadlines and different things. So I'm hoping to be up to 4 to 5 times a week that I can visit. And the staff has really been receptive with all the changes. I feel that when I go to visit, they're more apt to ask questions versus if we meet just once a month. Looking ahead, I'm working with a local business on signage and doing calorie counts and displaying menus. As you walk in and get your meal, you can see what the calories are, what the weekly menu is, so they can make their choices that they feel is best for them. Plan on having other visual posters of fruits and vegetables and signage that hopefully will help them make the right choice. Met with a chef later this summer and also have something scheduled for him to meet with me again on better flow, time management, any other upgrades as far as what we can use for equipment that would make it better for serving versus what we might have now. You do have our percentages from last year to this year for the same months. As you can see, they went down. There could be all sorts of reasons from, you know, the wise guys aren't at Lincoln anymore, and they go to Washington, which we had breakfast from them, you know, so that might be part of the reason that breakfast is down. Also, it might be just take a time to get them used to all the changes. I don't know if, I'm assuming they will accept it. If not, I hope to have a suggestion box from students that maybe they can input something that, you know, I want to see lasagna on the menu, or I want to see this on it. Trying to get them involved also. That's about all I have right now at this point. Is there any questions or?
Any comments or questions for Dawn?
I'm sure your numbers will, this is like your comments, only 22 days worth of data.
Right.
It's not a very good measuring point.
No, it's not.
And I know, I just wanted to share with you a letter that I received personally, and it said, I just thought I'd pass along my kudos for the new lunch program. I have been able to eat lunch at school 3 times already this year, and this was sent on September 16th. I don't think I have eaten at school more than that many times in 16 years. Either between my food allergies or just not having the desire, I have always brought my lunch. Now this year, I at least know that I am going in and have a salad bar with fruits and vegetables. Thank you. So
Good.
And that was from an employee, so.
Wonderful. And I don't hear a whole lot. It may be secondhand, but the kitchen staff does hear certain things Whether it gets back to me or not is a different story, but, but I'm hoping it's all good.
I've only heard positive. I even talked to a fifth grader that was at IC last year, and they were excited to be at Lincoln this year because their lunch is good and hot, and they get salad bar.
That's a plus.
I've
Well-
heard a number of positives from many parents that have said that my kids don't come home hungry anymore. I heard it from a teacher that, you know, our kids aren't hungry at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon anymore. It's a, you know, there's a number of positives. I have a second grader who has always, he's got a picky stomach and he's always brought lunch, but he's eaten more hot lunch this year than he ever has in the last couple of years, and great, you know, to satisfy him is really a good accomplishment, and because I see it every day with him, but
Yeah.
that
Great.
that shows me it's great, great things. And when we toured the buildings with Jerry last week, just on a buildings and grounds tour, when we were in the kitchens, the staff, I mean, the morale seemed good. The staff seemed, you know, like they were enjoying their time, and I think that makes a big difference too. So,
That's good to
thank
hear.
you.
A couple weeks ago, I invited a couple of high school students to meet me and have lunch with them, and so I got there a little bit early and went and talked to the lunch ladies and noticed right away their uniforms, and they look so good, Dawn. They're so professional looking with their shirts and aprons and pants. They just look like they're ready for business. You could see the pride on their face when I was noticing all the changes and the improvements that you've made to the program. The salad bar, my goodness, you guys, there was so much on this salad bar. If the public doesn't know, you know, we need to somehow communicate this better, not only to get your numbers up, but to help parents understand how many great options that there are available. But the lettuce was bright and green. You know, I noticed the black trays, so many options on that salad bar that kids that I watched during lunch were just putting lots and lots of fruits and vegetables on their trays, not just in that one little compartment, but like a half of it, a half of a tray, you know, and so I was talking to students as I was in the lunchroom, and they were all very positive, very excited about the changes. You know, the different options that particular day. There was a hamburger on the whole wheat bun, the 2 different kinds of pizzas, there was tuna, and the salad bar. And quite honestly, it all looked so good that I had a hard time making up my mind what I wanted to have for lunch that day. But the feedback is all positive that I've heard. I can't tell you how many people have stopped me, and you've probably had the same experience. And each time I hear that, I'm telling them, call Dawn. Let me give you her number. And I'm sorry if nothing has reached you directly, but because, you know, yes, we can say, well, thanks, you know, but you've been the one that has implemented the vision that we all had to improve this program. And you went, you know, with us to all those schools, and I see where you've made a lot of those improvements and changes to the program. So hats off to you, and thank you so much, because the kids should be getting fed well and their bellies filled and be able to pay attention in their classes. And
That's what we want.
yes, exactly. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Basically, I would just echo what everyone else has said, that all I've heard is positive things about the food service program from students and parents. The choices and the food and all of the changes that have been made are greatly appreciated, and I'm sure that your numbers will go up.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for Dawn? Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 6, the Pinecrest School Consortium Agreement. Dr. Cox, you want to explain this a little?
Sure. It used to be that these, we're going to talk about Bremwood too here in a second. It used to be that these programs were run by the AEA, and there has been a change, and that's no longer the case. Then they became run by an individual school district, and we would just pay a fee for a cost per day to send students there. What really has now grown, because we've approved probably 2 of these already previous to this one, is the use of a consortium. So if we want to send students to Pinecrest, and then if we want to send students to Bremwood, the next agenda item, we have to be part of the consortium. And we end up getting billed then for whatever percentage of students that we have attending of the actual cost. We're doing the same thing with our Northeast Regional Academy, that as people start sending students to us, they'll be joining our consortium. We already have one with River Hills that we joined a year ago for sending students there. So this is kind of the new route of providing services to students.
And the Pinecrest School Consortium is for students K through 8 with significant behavior needs.
Operated by the Mason City Community Schools.
Okay.
And then the next agenda item, Bremwood, is operated by the Waverly Shell Rock Community Schools.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agreement with Pinecrest Schools Consortium Agreement.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agreement to establish a consortium to jointly administer an instructional program at Pinecrest School located within the boundaries of the Mason City School District. Any further comments or questions? Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll have roll call vote, please.
Maycumber?
Yes.
Winnering?
Yes.
Walker?
Yep.
Frisbee?
Yes.
Dyke?
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 7, Bremwood Lied
I would say lead.
Lead Center Consortium Agreement. This is with Waverly.
Waverly Shell Rock.
So the same.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement to establish a consortium to jointly administer an instructional program at Bremwood Lead Center School located within the boundaries of the Waverly Shell Rock School District.
Second.
Agenda item 7 has been moved and seconded as presented. Any further discussion or comments? Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, we'll have roll call vote, please.
Winnering?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Frisbee?
Yes.
Maycumber?
Yes.
Dyke?
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 8, School Improvement Advisory Committee change.
I put together an application for SiAC, and what I didn't ask to be included was for a section that you would indicate, am I a student, a community member, a parent, a teacher? So when the name James Field came across, I'm still learning community members. I assumed James Field was an adult. Turns out it's actually Jimmy. He's a 9th grader. So he inadvertently got put in as a community member. He's not a community member. He's a student. We already have a student for this year for SiAC for the 9th grade. So I've asked Eric Miller, and he has accepted the appointment to SiAC. So tonight, that's the recommendation.
I'll make a motion we approve Dr. Cox's recommendation to appoint Eric Miller to the School Improvement Advisory Community.
Second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve agenda item 8, the SiAC committee change as presented. Any questions or comments from the board? Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, we'll have roll call vote, please.
Walker?
Yes.
Frisbee?
Yes.
Maycumber?
Yes.
Winnering?
Yes.
Dyke?
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 9, financial report for September of 2015. You have some comments, Mrs. O'Brien?
Yes, we had our audit completed last week. They were here for a day and a half, and our preliminary results are good. They had a couple of oral comments that we talked to them about, but overall, I thought pretty good. We'll have the final report approved in January. They need to go back to their office and do the rest of their work, and then hopefully we'll have a report to approve in January. On October 1st, we received our revenue bond and PEPAL loan note proceeds, and we deposited them in First Security like you had approved as the depository. And then in your packets, you'll have the first month analysis for fiscal year 15-16 that you can review.
Any questions for Mrs. O'Brien? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report for September 2015.
Is there a second?
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the financial report for September of 2015. Any further comments or questions from the board? Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Frisbee,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Winnering,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 10, the annual report. This would also be Mrs. O'Brien.
The annual report consists of reports from the departments and the buildings that you can read through, ask questions. My part of the financial report includes the line item budget for all funds, and some other information on staff. I'm not going to go through this in any length. If you've got questions for any of us, we're here to answer them.
Motion to accept the 2015-16 annual report and approve the line item budget contained within the report.
I'll second that.
Agenda item 10 has motion to approve and second as presented. Any further questions from the board?
No questions. I just wanted to highlight a few things that I thought were quite interesting. If I can put my finger on it, here we go.
The list is impressive.
Oh my gosh, there's so much good information in here. Justin's going to be busy tweeting. Some of this has already been put forward, but as I read this high school report, 1,033 college credit hours and dual credit and PSEO classes during the 2014-15 school year is pretty impressive. That's a lot of college credit. And 60%, which is 84 students, of the 2015 graduates had earned college credit prior to high school graduation. And, you know, we've made so many online NIAC classes part of that available to those students. So, you know, it's a great option for kids, and hopefully parents are informed of this and getting their kids ready for college while they're in high school. The other thing that I find so gratifying is 81% of the students at the high school were involved in at least one extracurricular activity throughout the school year. And I'm seeing, I can't put my finger on it now what the percentage was for the middle school, but also equally as impressive. So it's great that the kids are involved and have a home within their school life.
As Mr. Wolf would say, they've got some skin in the game.
That's right.
And this report is online on our school website. If anyone would like to take a look at it, it is filled with lots of good information about the direction that the district is heading. So
Under the district tab, Board of Education, you'll see the agenda and the exhibits, and there's an exhibit, and it actually says annual report. So in about 3 clicks, you could be there reading it.
any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Maycumber?
Yes.
Winnering?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Frisbee?
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 11 is the superintendent's individual professional development plan.
This is a joint effort between me as the superintendent and you as the school board. So I put together a plan for this current school year. This is your opportunity, if you'd like to make any modifications or suggestions. I guess suggestions, and then we work through the final product together. There are 3 specific leadership goals: creating a strategic plan for the Charles City Community Schools developed from multiple stakeholder input, coordinating a multi-district consortium, STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, BEST, which is businesses engaging students and teachers, program for high school students, and then working with our staff on targeted professional learning opportunities to increase student engagement. Those are the 3 big leadership goals. There's some learning goals that accompany that, and then you can see the indicators of progress. I've put down review dates of January 25th and April 25th so that we can check in throughout the course of the school year to just note progress and make sure that things are going according to how you'd like to see it go. So I guess at this time, if there are comments or questions, I certainly would be happy to answer any of them.
We're on an exciting track for a comment. Ambitious goals and with lots of benefits for our students and our community.
Agreed. Ready for a motion?
One question, can
Yes.
STEM be STEAM? Or is that,
The governor's STEM Advisory Council is STEM.
okay,
I get where you're coming from, and I used to toy with, probably not the right phrase, I used to come back at some teachers in Waterloo if they would ask this, to say, okay, can we make this STEAM? Well, sure we can, and we could probably make it STEAMer, and pretty soon we're going to add in a couple other things, and we're right back just to everything.
everything, okay.
The push right now is the science, technology, engineering, and math. And STEM Best is an actual grant that we've applied for from the state of Iowa. So that would be my recommendation, to leave it just as it is, because it ties to a very specific thing that we're pursuing.
Very good.
Knowing that the arts are important, just like everything else is important, the governor is really pushing for some enhanced STEM opportunities to assist with economic development.
Understood. Okay, very good.
But I appreciate the arts.
I thought I would
And I'm
ask.
at the arts activities as
I
much
thought-
as the others.
Yes, I thought I would ask because I hear STEAM so much in the community, and when you get together, you know, in any type of an educational environment, we keep hearing more and more about arts. And the arts are so important to the community, so I wanted to ask that question as well. It doesn't diminish our enthusiasm or interest or support of the arts in any way. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Looks good.
Very good.
Make a
Sure.
motion to approve the superintendent's individual professional development plan.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the superintendent's individual professional development plan as presented. Any further comments or questions from the board? Any comments or questions from the public? Hearing none, we'll have roll call vote, please.
Winnering,
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Frisbee,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 12, consideration of consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as amended earlier when we approved the agenda. Roll call vote, please.
Walker.
Yes.
Frisbee,
Yes.
Maycumber.
Yes.
Winnering,
Yes.
Dyke.
Yes, motion carried 5-0. Agenda item 13 is the November 9th board meeting.
So really, this is an information item unless you want to take any action. On the 9th, I will be in Buenos Aires, so I won't be here for the board meeting. We certainly can restrict the the agenda to be the typical things, the monthly bills, the other reports, educational presentations, and you can go ahead and have the meeting without me. I can attempt to see if I can Skype back in if necessary, but if you can have one meeting without me being present, we'll just push the bigger items to the 23rd. Or you could take action to say, no, let's move the meeting either up or back, and then it will fall 1 week after or 1 week before one of our other regular meetings.
I hate to say it, but I think we could handle one meeting without you. If it's simple.
Yeah, I think you guys could too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless something comes up,
Yep.
but I think that's a
What-
good plan.
What time is it over there? Will it be at? this
It
time?
is 2 hours ahead.
Oh, it's only 2 hours change.
Yeah.
I thought if it was 3 or 4 in the morning.
I'm trying to
we'd
think when.
Get you out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when daylight savings time happens here. If it's that first week in November, then potentially it would be 3 hours.
Yeah,
No, I think that's.
Okay, well,
the issues.
it changes.
It should be fine.
If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, we demand you get on set and cocktails.
be
Sure, it's nothing Terry can't.
9:30 at night,
Okay.
No, I think
so I can if needed, but.
No, I don't think so.
We have Terry. We have all.
We can handle it.
We have Terry,
We have
and
Terry.
she can control the agenda to some extent for us, so.
Not that we won't miss you, but we can do it.
All right.
So no action on agenda item 13. Agenda item 14, important upcoming dates.
School Improvement Advisory Committee is on Wednesday at 5 PM right here in the cafeteria. We've got district cross country on October 22nd. Next regular board meeting is October 26th, 2 weeks from today, and state cross country on Halloween Saturday.
Conference cross countries tomorrow.
And conference cross country in New Hampton tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Any
Well,
other?
volleyball with New Hampton as
I'd
well
like to
There
make
you
tomorrow.
go.
I'd like to make an invitation to any of the board members that want to come tomorrow to the Kiwanis presentation. You're welcome to come and get a free dinner out of it. Just meet me at the front door, let me know you're coming, so.
Is that noon?
Where's this at?
At noon at
Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for the invitation.
And if you were going to come, let me know. We can kind of plan on it.
Thank you.
You can come too, Terry.
Okay, thanks.
You need to eat dinner someplace.
Having no other business to come before the board, we will adjourn at 7:27.